want to introduce students to the single most important class of their lifetime. I don't stretch this when I say lifetime, because even though the girls here are now only entering ninth grade, there's no class in high school or college or even grad school that measures up to the importance of doing well now on the SAT, because it sets up everything for high school, college, and grad school. Not so much high school. We want to make this an experience that gets kids the highest possible score, which I'm going to presume is in the 1500s for everyone, in a relatively short time. And that means you don't need to stretch this out. That 2 years, even though a lot of kids are going to be waiting till 11th grade normally, you don't have to wait if your student is ready. And here's how you know whether your daughter's ready. She takes practice tests. And if even one of the two sections, math or verbal, is strong enough to post an impressive score to colleges, I really want them to take the test on that upcoming month or two. We like November as this class's ideal challenge. That November and then December, you always take the test twice in succession. You never know how well you'll do on the first test day. So we can schedule some practice tests leading up to November. The best scheduling, though, is your daughter's on their own without a group. Okay, we'll have one group session, maybe two, but Blue Book is the badly named SAT name for online tests that are not in the book, but online, so that it simulates the timing and the procedure. There are 6 of those, and doing those on their own under time conditions makes the most sense. Here's why, almost certainly, your kids can be ready for this fall. It's because the SAT is not testing things that are asked or taught in the high school 10th and 11th grade. They're not. They're testing math at the Algebra 1, Geometry 1, and a few elements of Algebra 2 level. Those few elements we can teach and will incorporate in part of our teaching. There might be 1 or 2 trigonometry questions. If kids haven't had trig, the little trig that we do, it's called SOHCAHTOA trig, is going to be sufficient to get those questions right if they come up. An occasional matrix question we're going to cover. So the learning for math is done probably already from 7th, 8th, maybe 9th grade. The learning from verbal comes out of 5th, 6th grade. It's grammar and some new stuff that isn't even in high school curricula at all. It's more logic oriented. And students who are studying for the LSAT to get into law school, they have to be on top of that in a deep way. The SAT is now testing that in a kind of superficial way on the verbal section. So, to get the most out of the class, we are assigning homework, probably an hour to an hour and a half's worth each session. And the place to find the work is on the sheet that's in front of their binder. We're using the verbal binder only this time. 2 columns worth, either middle and right, middle and left. And these 2 columns direct kids to the official SAT study guide from 2020. There are good problems in there to do, to correct, because answers are at the back of each test. And the good problems deserve a roster entry where the kids will say, got it right, got it wrong, or guessed. A G, guess, means I'm not 100% sure why I got it right. Fine. We will go over it, not in class. That's for Helpline. Helpline is a Wednesday evening endeavor from 8 to 10 p.m. on zoom.us. The code is 531-623-5029. We don't need a password, and any questions that were troublesome are worth bringing up. The tutor in tomorrow's class wants to see just your roster. We're not grading you, but how many right, how many wrong, how many guessed. And when we get to math, it'll be similar. There's a math roster. We'd like 2 columns worth to be done. The middle column in either the left or the right, that's going to become the assignment. After that, assignments are mostly done electronically, where kids go into what's known as the educator question bank.